Hello, Simone here, and I hope you are doing well wherever you are right now. Today's topic is about change. Change is not easy simply because it requires you to move outside of your comfort zone. Also, because our unconscious minds are naturally wired to avoid pain, which is part of our innate flight or fight response to danger. So, if change is perceived as something scary, it can bring up discomfort, resistance, fear, and so on. However, when you're really ready to change something in your life, then there are signs that pop up to suggest you're ready. So let's dive into this topic and let's dive in with the first sign. Staying in your current situation is no longer an option. Whatever your situation is, you are most likely frustrated and know that you want to do something differently. You don't necessarily know what that is yet, but you know that you do want something to change. However, this isn't enough to make a successful change. What's different is that you no longer feel that staying put is the better choice. In fact, you know it isn't, and you're ready to do something about it. When the pain of staying in your current situation is bigger or impacting you more than the fear of change, then you know it's time to make a move. And the good news is that it is from this place of awareness and recognition that helps to ignite the change you are likely seeking. In the past, when I used to work with clients wanting to leave their corporate job and start their dream businesses, there was always that point where they were ready to make the leap. The pain of going into their 9-to-5 job one more day felt so excruciating that any fears of moving on were outweighed, and as such, were no longer in the driving seat. So once you get to the point where whatever it is that you're wanting to move on from is worse than staying put, that's a sign, my friend, that it's time to change. Another sign is that you let go of all the excuses why not to change and instead find the reasons why you must. Okay, so you've stayed where you are long enough, and this has most likely been spurred on by the excuses you gave yourself not to leave a current situation. Often, some of those excuses come as the result of common resistance to change and unfamiliar territory, like I mentioned before. Now, I don't know about you, but I can talk a pretty big game to myself sometimes, telling myself the story that I want to hear to suit my circumstance. So it's really important to tell yourself the story that will support your need or want to change something in your life. It's really important to do that. And interestingly, once you make the change, you create a better and new place to familiarize yourself with. So, what are those reasons now why change is a must? And then start from there. Okay, here's sign number 3. You do know what you want to do, or you have an idea that you want to change, but you don't let anyone influence you negatively. Who are you to truly be yourself and make changes in your life? The truth is, you are joining a special group of people who have courage, who know how to move forward despite the odds, and who know that they have a say in how they design their lives. Not everyone gets this, and often people try to warn you against the unknown. So when you are in a place where you can hear those thoughts popping up or comments from others, and you don't listen to them and you just don't adopt them as your own, then you're in a stronger position to take action on what you want. So that's a sign that you're able to do so. Here's another one. You are able to remain connected with your goal and you don't let any negative, comments affect you. Right. So the fourth sign, you're ready to make a plan and take consistent steps. How long have you been thinking about making some change in your life? I think it's Tony Robbins that might have said, if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. And if you schedule it, it's real. So when you're committed to beginning something new, you start to plan and to take action. You schedule the time in your life and take strategic steps towards achieving that goal. Change might start in the head, but it's only executed through taking actions towards a different way of being, thinking, and doing. So when you're at that stage where, you're getting your ideas down, you're creating goals, and you're scheduling in the time to take action, then you're really committed to making the changes that you want to manifest in whichever area of your life. Sign number 5, you are willing to push past the obstacles that will arise. Yes, obstacles will arise, as they too are part of your journey. So many of us have been taught to think of obstacles as reasons not to start, or reasons to quit, for example. But with your committed view, you will see them as progress, because they wouldn't arise if you were doing nothing at all. The best news is there are ways to overcome these obstacles. How many times have you said or heard someone else say, "Gosh, this is so hard. It's not working. Everything I do, every turn I take, there's something that comes up to stop me. Maybe it's a sign that I shouldn't do it." I'm guilty of this. But then there's a point where you have to realize that obstacles are not there to stop you, but to guide you. And that it might be that the sign is saying, look to your left, not to your right. And instead you look at it as, oh, I'm just going to stop. So when you're willing to push past the obstacles, you're on the right track. There you have it, folks. 5 signs that you're committed to change. Now, if you are currently in a place where you're consciously wanting to make a shift or a change in any particular area of your life, check in with yourself and ask, is staying in my current situation no longer an option? Think about that. Have I let go of all of these excuses of why not to change and instead found the reasons why I must? Do I not let anyone influence me negatively? Am I ready to make a plan and take consistent steps towards achieving it? Am I willing to push past the obstacles that will arise? If you've got 5 yeses, you are well on your way to change. If not, that's cool too. Just think of it as an obstacle and maybe look left instead of right.